How to cast your very first spell. If you, like me, want to cast your own spells, you'll need to know what you want. So think about that right now. What do you want? Spells and magic can help you to get it. Welcome to Real World Magic, where we make your life more magical. My name's Neil Trigger, I'm going to be your magical host, and in today's video I'm going to help you to cast your very first spell. I've been interested in magic and the occult for well over 20 years now, and I understand how spells actually work, and yes, they do work. In this video I'm going to explain what spells are, how they work, and what you can do to start casting your very own spells, so that you can begin to get what you want. Let's start by looking at what a spell is and is not. A magical spell is nothing other than projecting your own will out into the universe and asking for what you want. I could start talking about the beginnings of where spells came from, and perhaps that's a good idea for another video. I'm guessing you're here though to find out about how to get magical powers for yourself. And that's cool, so let's teach you how to cast your very first spell. Let's say you want that awesome new promotion that you've heard about, but you're not sure that you're even going to be offered it. Let's throw some extra cosmic magic into the mix and help you to get that job. Start by specifying what it is you want. It's called a spell for a reason. It means you literally spell out what you want, and be specific here. If you want to get a promotion, specify what promotion you want. Be careful though, because being too specific might mean you're too narrow. The universe has a funny way of offering or giving what you want, even if it isn't what you asked for. In other words, you might think that you want to work for Mr. Jones on the 3rd floor, but you're offered a job with Mrs. Smith on the 4th floor for better money and working conditions. You don't want to cut that out of your life. Be specific about the what, but not the where. Don't say you want to work with XYZ in such and such a place, but rather be specific about the what. Ask for a happy place to work, low levels of stress, good colleagues, that kind of thing. By all means, ask for good pay. That's what, not where. Be careful too to think about the how, but not prescribe it. In other words, you can think about how you might get there, but magic doesn't work like that. It often makes shortcuts and starts to allow small changes in your life that will take you to a different place entirely. Provided your goal doesn't specify what that is, you'll be fine. Let's take another example. Perhaps the most common example is one of love. You may cast a love spell that asks for love for yourself, and that's fine, but most people have a very fixed idea of who they want. This is a bad idea. Imagine getting that person only to realise that they don't love you in return. There's nothing more toxic or dangerous. Ask instead for perfect love. Would you be happy if you were happy? And I know it sounds like a stupid question, doesn't it? But it's not, and I'll ask again, but this time I'll rephrase it. If you did not get the partner that you think you wanted, but instead you find someone that you love dearly, who loves you back, brings out the best in you and makes you deliriously happy, so happy in fact that the person that you originally thought of becomes a distant and rather silly memory, would you be happy being happy with this new, better person? Well, obviously you would. So here's the first step. Ask for what you want, but not how, who, where, and don't even be too fixed on when. Don't prescribe too much. Be specific about what you want, but don't demand the circumstances in which your new reality can occur. Remember that you need to live in a world where what you want is possible, and getting from here to there may take you some time. You need to trust that the universe knows what it's doing. It can be hard to let go and just have faith, and if you come from a religion like Christianity where you're told to trust God, but you feel let down or dejected by that mindset, then the whole faith thing in the universe might be a bitter pill to swallow. If you can let that go and embrace the magic all around you and trust that your spell work will work, you'll be much more likely to have true magical success. So how do you actually do this then? How can you cast your first spell? Well, we know that you need to ask for what you want, but what's the best way to do that? In this video that I linked up here, one of these, I'm not sure, I talk about the unconscious mind and how spells work on an unconscious level to construct reality around your intent. Spells are just symbols. A green candle might symbolise money, it may symbolise luck, it may symbolise growth or nature. A black candle, on the other hand, is symbolic of loss or banishment, while red is passion, pink is friendship, blue is health, etc. Now, these are indicative colours only. In other words, just because I tell you that that's their meaning, it doesn't mean that I'm right. Most people agree with them because that's what they've been told by others. But here's the real secret of magic. Magic comes from within. Magic is yours. You control it. If you think that orange symbolises love to you, then use orange. Spells work by picking out symbols that mean something to you, not to anybody else. Of course, if you really have no idea and need a bit of a push, there are Wiccan colour charts and crystal bottles and herb compendiums and all that kind of stuff. But that's kind of overkill, to be honest. I mean, it's good to know what other people think, but if it means something to you, use it. Screw anybody else. This is your spell because it's your mind, nobody else's. You wouldn't let someone else tell you what to do in your own life, so why would you let them do it in magic, in your spells? It's yours, own it. Your symbols are more powerful than a symbol borrowed from a dusty spell book belonging to somebody else. If it resonates with you, of course you can use it. If not though, don't worry about it, think of something else. I personally like candle magic. It's accessible and flexible to my own needs, but if you'd prefer to use water magic or food magic or any other kind of magic, that's for you to decide. So the first step is knowing what you want, and the second step is knowing how to ask. You create a symbol and there isn't a wrong answer because your symbol will be very personal. I may tell you my own symbol, but you may find it silly. If, however, you make your own symbols and craft your own spell using herbs or candles or ribbons or buttons or potions or poppets or burning paper or making string knots or any of the other kinds of charms or rituals that are available out there to you, and there's loads of them, your symbols will be your own, and there's no way that you're as invested in my spells or my symbols as you will be in your own. So step 1 is work out what you want. Step 2 is to work out how to ask. Step 3 is act. It's a simple step, but you do need to do it. So I guess the question is, how do you act? Well, you need to act with intent. Keep in mind what you want while you're acting. Once you build your spell or ritual, you need to focus your mind on what you want and what you're doing, and the reasons that you chose the symbols that you chose. Make sure the area is quiet, make sure you won't be disturbed, at least during the essential actions, and remember this doesn't need to take hours, and you don't need to prepare in a salty bath or succumb to ritual showering or any of the other modern day things that modern day witches will tell you is essential. Unless of course it is essential. If it is part of the spell, or that you think it makes sense, or it's important to you, then go for it. But don't just do it because people say to do it. So I'm doing a new video called Why Spells Aren't Demonic, and when that's finished I will link it up there. But for now, I think you've got enough to get started and get going with your very own spell casting. Seriously though, I can't stress this enough. It looks like magic because it's a symbol. Symbols are always bathed in mystery, and even the word occult comes from the word occlude or occlusion, which means to hide. Symbols hide things and encode meaning, hidden meaning, into other things. That's all the occult is. It's a way of encoding meaning into everyday objects, used in specific ways to communicate with your unconscious mind, so that the whole of you is focused on bringing about positive change, rather than just your conscious mind. It will bring positive change into your life. You're not able to break the laws of physics, obviously, and there's a reason that there's no devil or demons in the craft. Witches don't believe in Satan or in demons. Spells are perfectly safe. They are no more scary than using a television or writing emojis on an email. These things obviously aren't real people or real emotions, they're just symbols for it. Televisions don't contain humans and emojis don't contain raw emotion. They're just symbols that mean something to us. And so are spells. It really is that simple. So get casting and let me know how you get on down in the comments. That's it from me for another episode, so thanks very much for watching. Now if you want to support this channel and get some awesome benefits at the same time, you can become one of these amazing people over on Patreon. I'll give you a shout out on my videos and you'll get 10% off my store, and you'll also be making other people's lives magical at the same time, so it's actually worth it. If you're looking for magical Christmas gifts for yourself or others, please check out my Etsy store where you can pick up magical potions, posters, t-shirts and mugs designed by my fair hands and crafted by hand, by me personally. If you hurry, we should be able to get them to you by Christmas too. And I've put, again, all those links down in the description. If you enjoyed this video, as always, and you haven't already, please do click the like button, subscribe for more of this kind of stuff, and click the bell button to be notified of future uploads too. Because I often go live, and you wouldn't want to miss that, would you? I'll be back next week with some more magical awesomeness, but until then, as always...
Play magical.
Please subscribe to Real World Magic. While you're there, click the bell button to be notified of future uploads, and have a look at all of my social stuff. Remember to donate on Patreon if you really, really liked it, and I'll see you again next week.